What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and I have a special treat for you guys today. I pulled some strings and got Jordan Sperber on this channel. For those of you unfamiliar with Jordan, he is the former video coordinator at New Mexico State University, and he has an excellent channel called Hoop Vision 68. He's extremely knowledgeable about basketball, so enjoy.
Hi everyone, this is Jordan, and let's get right into it. In this video, we're going to talk about the different options and coverages for guarding Damian Lillard. By now, I'm sure you're familiar with the 37-foot buzzer beater he hit to bring the Blazers to the second round, but that was really the story of the whole series. Lillard had one of the best jump shooting playoff series for an individual player in recent memory. To give it some context, 3 players in this year's playoffs have shot at least 9 jump shots off the dribble per game. D'Angelo Russell, Damian Lillard, and his teammate CJ McCollum. Kyrie Irving is a distant 4th at 7 per game. Efficiency-wise, Russell struggled in his series against the Sixers. He scored just 0.82 points per shot on those 10 attempts. Damian Lillard, 1.36. The combination of Lillard and McCollum's abilities off the bounce make the Blazers a unique offense to guard. To help see just how special Lillard's series against the Thunder was, compare that 1.36 to his regular season average, 1.06. Players getting better at shooting long threes off the bounce and coaches giving players more freedom to actually do so has forced defenses to try to search for answers. Before we get into some Lillard film, let's first look at how the Sixers guarded D'Angelo Russell. The Sixers used drop coverage, which is the ball screen coverage that the league shifted to, especially as offensive spacing was being improved. The theory behind dropping is pretty simple. In the past, NBA teams would bring Embiid up to hedge in this situation, forcing the ball handler backwards. But while hedging accomplishes that, it also gives the offense a potential 4-on-3 situation. With spacing and shooting at a premium in the modern NBA, allowing 4-on-3 situations leads to high-efficiency threes. So the goal of dropping with the big is to avoid those 4-on-3s altogether, and then persuade the ball handler into a less efficient mid-range jumper. This puts a lot of burden on Ben Simmons to not what I call melt on screens. He has to get up into the ball and stay attached to Russell, but at the same time, make sure he doesn't foul a jump shooter. The drop coverage is one of the reasons why Russell took so many jumpers off the bounce in the series. The Sixers were baiting him into that. Russell had a breakout season this year. He even made the All-Star team, but he's not quite in that elite tier of guards that you have to take away the attempt on. The coverage was effective on its own, but the other thing it did was allow Embiid and even Boban to play a lot of minutes at that center position, which is good for the Sixers' offense. On the other hand, Damian Lillard is in that elite tier of guards. So notice the different ball screen coverage from the Thunder. Steven Adams isn't in a full hedge, but he's out beyond the three-point line. The goal of this coverage is to have Adams contain Lillard initially off the screen until Westbrook is able to get back even on the ball. Lillard is an excellent shot maker. Just because you get back even certainly doesn't mean he won't still make the shot, but it's all about making his life as difficult as possible. The Thunder also tried to ice Lillard, with Adams having the same job as before, but this time Westbrook's job is to keep the ball on the side of the floor and out of the middle. Here Westbrook is so concerned with icing that Lillard just flips the screen and pulls up. On this play, Schroeder thinks a screen is coming, so he changes his foot angles to get into ice too early, which allows Lillard to get downhill and a switch onto Adams. The Thunder also had some communication issues when guarding Lillard, in part because of the action the Blazers were running on offense. On this play, Adams is getting into the coverage on the baseline side like he's expecting ice, but Westbrook isn't icing. Notice how the Blazers set a wedge screen on Adams. That makes it even tougher to not only communicate, but also execute the ball screen coverage. And the same thing happens here with Adams and George. Adams is just too late getting out to contest because of the miscommunication. It's a difficult task for a big like Adams to contain the shooter while also staying in front on any potential hesitation moves. That's the same hesitation that Steph Curry has made an absolute living off of. If we go back to the stats from the beginning of the video, you might be surprised to see Curry took just 5 jumpers off the bounce per game versus the Clippers. But there's a couple reasons for that. First and foremost, the Warriors are loaded with offensive talent, which limits Steph's usage. But the other part is that Curry faces more aggressive ball screen coverages than anyone else in the entire league. You can't give this shot up to Steph Curry. He's too good of a shooter. So instead, teams consistently put 2 on the ball, or in this case, 3 on the ball, and get it out of his hands. And that's where the famous Draymond Green short roll comes into play. Don't get me wrong, Draymond is great playing in these 4-on-3 situations and finding the open man, but the fact that these 4-on-3s even present themselves in the first place is thanks to Steph. This could be a potential option for Trailblazer opponents against Lillard moving forward in the playoffs. Getting the ball out of his hands and living with the disadvantaged situations that occur as a result. Now that we've seen what the Clippers did with Curry, let's go back to the coverage that we saw from the Thunder. The Clippers prioritized getting the ball out of Curry's hands, while the Thunder fought to get back even on Lillard. That's not to say Billy Donovan never tried to adjust in the series. The Thunder did get more aggressive at times, not really by choice, but because Lillard was playing at such a high level. Here the Thunder put 2 on the ball and forced Lillard to make that pass to the short roll, but it's easier to guard when Cantor is in that spot instead of Draymond. Another reason why we may see teams try this going forward. Or we might see Blazers opponents use a similar strategy to how the Pacers guarded Kyrie, switching everything. The Pacers decided, instead of worrying about dropping or showing or 4-on-3s, to instead just give Turner and Sabonis the task of guarding him 1-on-1. Obviously, the Pacers were severely undermanned in this series, especially without Oladipo, but they did do a pretty good job guarding Kyrie. He scored just 0.86 points per shot off the dribble, well below his season average of 0.96. And that's generally how the playoffs have evolved in recent years. More switching. When guarding dynamic point guards like Irving, Curry, and Lillard, you have to pick your poison. If you're a team with a superstar big like Embiid, you might have to go the 2 on the ball route to get it out of that point guard's hands. But otherwise, going small and switching 1 through 5 might be your best bet to slowing down this amazing run by Damian Lillard.
Well, there you have it, guys. I told you you were in for something good, and Jordan delivered a great video. And I, for one, will be very interested in watching how the Nuggets or the Spurs in the next round defend Lillard. And again, make sure to check out Jordan's YouTube channel, HoopVision68. Link will be in the description. And also, if you're looking to increase your basketball IQ as a player or a coach, go to smarterbasketballplayer.com to learn about my new online program. Link in the description. Thanks for watching, and let's just ride this beat out into the second round. Have a good one, guys.